The body of a teenage girl is found in a Tesla. The vehicle is registered to a popular music artist known for his moody and emotional style. Singer David now finds himself at the center of a media storm.
I'm looking over shoulders. I wanna fall in love. Think we should settle down. That's what I told her.
That is David performing one of his latest hits, Friend Again. The 20-year-old, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, is a rising artist with nearly 4 million followers on TikTok alone. The decomposing body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas was found inside a Tesla registered to David in Los Angeles after somebody noticed a stench coming from the vehicle. It was in a tow yard. In a statement to Court TV, the medical examiner said in part the decedent was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle on September 8th, 2025. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. Rivas was last seen in April of 2024, about 60 miles away from Los Angeles. She was 13 years old at the time when she was reported missing. Authorities have not implicated David in Rivas's death. The singer is cooperating with police. So what questions remain in this investigation? A ton. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney David Bruto, media personality and artist, head rack, and retired NYPD Detective Mike Alcazar. Good morning to all of you. Head crack. Let's start with you. David, give us a sense of his career in terms of its trajectory, where he is at this point. He's only 20 years old, but he's already made quite a mark.
You know, making waves in all the right spaces and places. One of the places he really got a big launch pad from was Fortnite. He was one of those guys who made like one of the first anthems for the game that was utilized a lot. And he also is like really big on social media platforms like Discord, Reddit, naming a few. And, you know, his fans are very active. They engage with his music. And he's one of those artists who's like, using all the tools that are available in a different way, and it's really like made quite an ecosystem for him.
And now he's at the center of all of this. David, the body is severely decomposed. That's a problem, is it not? In that, at the end of the day, they may not have a cause of death here.
Yeah, without a doubt. First thing that jumped out at me with that forensic pathologist statement is what's the cause of death. Cause and manner are the starting point for any prosecutor in a homicide case, and this may not be a homicide. This could be a drug overdose. It could be a medical event. So certainly that is first and foremost for investigators and prosecutors, is to determine how she died. Depending on how the body is, how much it's decomposed, there's still ways to get toxicology from the body, and there should be damage and broken bones and all kinds of different ways to come to that decision. That's number one. Number two, we are in a gold rush of technology. Headcrack talked about the use of tools by this particular person, but at the same time, there's also going to be text messages and DMs, and there's going to be Snapchats, and there's going to be surveillance video, and the tech is so strong right now for law enforcement to be able to go back into the lives and look at digital footprints of both the victim and the suspect and determine who, when, where, and all the questions that really need to be answered with respect to the relationship. So those are two things that jump out at me: cause and manner, and then the tech that could basically put together the relationship and the communications.
Mike, David's Hollywood home was searched yesterday. They were out there for an extended period of time, picking up on what David just said. You have an individual who is a 20-year-old, very successful, wealthy entertainer. He's got a lot of people around him, and there's vehicles around him as well, and that's already been, it's been thrown out there as well. It's just because it's his vehicle doesn't mean he was the guy with the keys to the vehicle. Give us a sense of the difficulty of investigating this case from what we know.
Yeah, very true. That was the first thing that popped into my head. So they recovered this Tesla. They're gonna canvass for video surveillance. It's already been told that the Tesla's been parked in several locations, so they're gonna canvass for video there. The Tesla itself might have video surveillance. You know, everything's recorded electronically on Teslas. Its movement, and who approached it. And like David said, they're going to compare what kind of evidence, any kind of forensic evidence that they can gather from the scene, and they're going to compare that to any kind of DNA evidence inside the vehicle, inside his residence. It's going to be a methodical search for forensic evidence, and it's going to be daunting given the timeline and the decomposure of the body.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult out of the gate. Let's take a little closer look at the 20-year-old artist, David, including these kind of eerie lyrics from a hit single that he has. It's called Romantic Homicide, which was released 2 years before Revis went missing. I mean, that's as creepy as it gets. That his YouTube video from that song with blood and a knife. First went viral on TikTok, did this artist with 3.8 million followers now, released his debut album, Withered, in April. Been on tour since August. Tour stops in Seattle on Wednesday were canceled, and shows he's set to perform in San Francisco and Los Angeles this weekend. We'll see if that actually happens. Reportedly, Hollister and Crocs have now ended their marketing campaigns with the singer. So what's next for David, and how could this affect his career? Once he's a suspect, Headcrack, which we should mention, Headcrack has an album out as well called Microdose. What does this do to him now? Yes, his name is now everywhere, but could this hurt his career, whether or not he had anything to do with the demise of Celeste?
I mean, we're already seeing the downslide of, the sponsorship potentials. Fortnite was getting ready to make a skin for him and put him in the game, and they quickly canceled that. You talked about the Hollister, ad and the Croc thing that also got canceled as well. It's one of those things where, more people know his name now and are probably listening to his music just to see what the hype is about. So you're going to see an uptick in streams, I think, in that regard. And if he somehow proves his innocence in this situation, I think this possibly makes him bigger. And you've also seen situations when someone does something terrible, it also helps as well. There was an artist a few years ago who his name escapes me. He's a rapper from Dallas, the Dallas area, who committed a murder. He was on the run for a while. And his streams went through the roof just because he was involved in a case. And he was actually, he's bigger behind bars than he was when he was in the free world. So, we live in different times than it was back in the day, to where things that would typically end an artist's career actually mysteriously boost them.
Yeah, Mike, from an investigative standpoint too, the amount of people around him and his fame, but also his money. He's a 20-year-old who's already been able to make some serious cash. That would lend one to believe that he'll lawyer up very quickly and access to him is going to be limited. Your thoughts on that part of the investigation, and how a little bit more difficult it might be for investigators given his status?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he can lawyer up. It doesn't mean that the police can't interrogate him. He'll just have to have a lawyer present. So we're going to have to, we could interview the staff, the people around him. I'm sure they already opened up a tip line, and because of his fame and perhaps now notoriety, might be a lot of information that detectives will have to collate and investigate, and hopefully it's something that's proactive that can lead to something good, some good probable cause information that they can act on.
Yeah, we shall see. This is obviously developing. We'll continue to follow it. Mike Alcaraz and Headcrack, thank you. Have a great weekend. Appreciate your time on this Friday. Coming up next,